Hello, 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 hello. Welcome to the ModLap Championship Season 2 final. We have a fantastic final lined up for you at this point. We have 10 tracks, 10 laps on each track, and plus one bonus track, so 11 total tracks. We have plenty of players going into this one. I'm going to let it slightly run just for a start while I read out the list of players, so ignore that there will be no noise coming from the thing. I can tab across now. We have, in no particular order, Owly, Alexis, Chap, Guigs, Juanon, Gil, Flens, Madmac, Matador, Jaw, Afgamer, Woo, Cobrusk, Pityfab, TJ, Levon, Nabs, Silver, Luca, Cami, Thuk, Nor, Pachyox, and Dede. And if I said your name wrong, it's because you used the silly things that I can't read. And yeah, we're in. We are in. Points distribution, I'm trying to figure out. And such like that. Because that's championship points. Each final 11 maps over 10 points. Players receive 2 times 65 minus their position points based off placement. So first is 128 points and 64th is 2 points. So 2 points lost every placement you go down. Let's hook it up with the back of whoever's on 24 now. That's about here with Thuk. We can see the front of the field. Smoke mode is a little bit janky. Hopefully the server sorts itself out. It is just glitching around right now. It did seem to sort itself out while we were playing warm-up for the most part, so it could just be a little bit of jitters as we get into the finals. Hopefully it does sort itself out though. At the top is Levon, racing through a great player. Been at the top of many of these tournaments. We bump forward to Silver, who's on the back of this group. Levon pulling out a bit of a gap right now. Good group forming here with Luca, TJ, Pityfab, Cobrusk, and especially through Pityfast, Cobrusk and Silver, right battling back and forth with this lag. You can't actually quite tell who's in the lead in some places. Levon maintaining a lead. Silver hits a wall, slows down. Camel comes through. We'll get on board here. This track, very technical. It has some fast sections to it, but a lot of high speed into slow speed corners. And then holding it round. Hold your nerve. A lot of places to crash, so I'd expect a lot of people to take slower lines through certain sections on all of these maps to make sure they're playing it safe. You'll see people running it not quite so close to corners as they normally would. How's Levon doing out front? What's happening with our back markers? So we do have more players over on the next screen. But for the most part, we're going to be looking at the top 16. 24 players total, but top 16 will be the main sort of section that we're going to be looking at. There's everybody going through. Let's bump ourselves up to whoever is on the main pace by the time the next one goes through. That is Camel. The only one, or Cami, possibly. Final player on that top bit. Let's go on board with Levon and see what Levon's doing lines-wise. Just clean driving. Matador's had a crash, getting overtaken. Not sure how many laps we are in. Unfortunately, the lap section hidden on spectate mode. Levon got quite a lead now. 2 seconds over Luca. Can't even see Levon off in the distance. How many checkpoints is this track? We're across. We have finished. We have finished our first map. 10 laps complete. Everybody dancing into the finish. We have Levon, followed by Luca, TJ, Pitifab, Cami, Cobra, Passiox, Silver, Thuk, Alexis, Jaw, Flens, Afgamer, Owly, Dede, Madness, Woo, Janono, Matador coming across the line now, and finally Gil. Oops, didn't mean to press that. Gil, who brings up the rear, brings up the final place. Great round there. So, oh, there's also a top 3 bonus. I didn't see that. I've just looked across. So, each map, you get 128 points. Probably. The points adjustment may have been changed. There's also bonus points. Semi-finals, you get 10 points. I'm not quite sure about the points, to be honest, because the points are also for long term rather than the immediate competition. They're for whole seasons of the ModLap Championship. Gil having a big smash up. Let's go on board with Levon and see what the lines are looking like. Unfortunately, it looks like we're going to be having some slightly laggy gameplay again this run. It's a shame. I'll see if I can I'll go back out and hope I can get back in. I should really have added that server to my favourite, shouldn't I? Let's see if this fixes anything. As we head into map number 2. Okay, on board with Camille. Off the back slightly, the glitching doesn't appear to have disappeared. Passiox making some moves through the field right now. Alexis runs that quite wide. Passiox to the wall. Annoyingly, the cleanness of the driving, especially on this map, we'd see people going through these corners. You absolutely as close as you can to the inner and outer wall, because otherwise you have to really slow down quite a lot. So it's a shame that we can't show that off, because either my internet's being janky or the server's just having a few problems. Hopefully it sorts itself out as we go through. It did seem to get slightly less janky. People weren't going into the floor so much towards the end of that. But Passio's currently in a good position. Picks up an improved lap record. Some of the lap records are from training, as well as from actual competitive. Hey, Ollie. Yeah, it's definitely good driving going on. And we can see, I think, the bumps are all moving at the same time. So I think we're all right to see when people are overtaking each other. A lot of these players will be playing without cars on. So although they will be seeing this jankiness as well, because it was happening when I was playing while people were warming up while driving. So I think pretty much everybody's going to be playing with cars off right now. And just relying on, down in this corner, you will have a box that tells you your splits time compared to everybody else. So I think they'll be playing with that instead. Let's take a look who is on the lead checkpoint at the minute. Looks like we're again at the point where lead checkpoint runs basically top 8, as we're about halfway through, I'd imagine. Let's move on board with Cobra, fighting for a top position here, into the top 3 with TJ right online. Sends it up, faster exit speed as well for than TJ. back and see if TJ can catch up. So Cobra, very nice line on that one. Levon's out in front, but not quite so far out in front, and Cammy doing really much better this map than last map. Definitely didn't do badly last map though, but sort of mid front packing it. Not off the pace, but very much at the back of that kind of first checkpoint group. But right now, we're right behind Levon. We've got quite a battle on our hands. I mean, TJ's giving us the best position to watch this battle between Cobrask and Cammy. As they're coming through these final corners, they're just going one wider than the other. Cammy has more exit speed. Cobrask goes on the inside, gets a beautiful line through that section. I'm just going to make up some where the lines are going if they're jumping around like this. But it looked good because the exit speed ended up being better. And now Cobrask quite heavily in front and making a flyer. Might be worth getting on board with Cobrask actually right now. Making a flyer towards Levon. Has overtaken plenty of people to get to this point. Coming from 7th or 8th I think at one point in this map. Right on board behind Levon. Remember, this is your highest qualifier, Cobrask, by far. Levon coming in. That's the wrong button. Okay, all the buttons are broken. I think Levon was 3rd qualifier. Something like that. But Cobra's doing fantastically, keeping up. Caught up, but now hasn't been able to catch up further. Levon might be just seeing that splits time on the checkpoint markers on the HUD. Seeing that it's running a little bit. Cobrask fast through that section, but Levon gets the tighter line on the exit and they're back to neck and neck. Again, Cobrask going the wider line and getting more exit speed, but it's taking longer. And who managed to take it across the line? Levon takes it by 0.09 seconds in the end. Absolutely incredible, right to the line. Cobrask not getting a good start being the main problem there. But following Levon is Cobrask, TJ, Silver, Luca, Pasiox, Thuk, Pityfab, Owly, Cammy, Deddy, Alexis, Jaw, Flens, Afgamer. Madness pops across the line. Woo coming around the last set of corners to cross the line again with a nice car as well. Matador's over the line. And Gil retiring early. Gil needs to unbind the retire button, I think. That seems like an accidental one. Crashed or sent it over the edge. Plenty of places you can drive off track on that map and end up in the wrong place. But absolutely incredible round right at the top between Levon and Cobrask. On to Arian's map, MLC 09. Yes, good luck on Crashless is the call that's just been made there. This map, very difficult to drive Crashless. For starters, the start, which you don't get to practice much of, is very difficult. Coming around that corner that we just did into the drop down, it's very easy to lose a bit of extra speed and then catch your back wheels, and you'll have a really difficult time of it. This bit here, super tight, you can see people bouncing off the walls. It's a difficult map to not crash on, for sure. Which is kind of, yeah, the beauty of multi-lap racing. You've got to be consistent as well as fast. And there'll be players that are consistent and they'll pick up a lot of points. And there'll be players that are fast and they'll pick up more points in one round and less points in others. And sometimes, depending on the point system, it can be better to be faster half of the time rather than consistent all of the time. With this point system, I think it's going to be better off to play consistently to play consistently, because you're more likely to lose more places than you are to gain by having good rounds. But if you feel like pushing it, you feel good on a map, you might as well push it. Jaw falling slowly off the back of this group. Not seeing any major crashes though, Jaw being probably at the back of the no crash line. I can see a gap between Jaw and Flens here. Not too much though. More of a gap on the leaderboard, I think, because that's the whole checkpoint. Get on board with Thuk, who's at the back of this leading group. Looks like Thuk took not a crash. It did look a little bit like a crash, but I think just a slightly slower extra bit of braking. That's a crash for Silver. Bumps up on the top wall there. Easy to slide out and go a little bit too far. You hammer on the brake and you don't seem to slow down at all in that corner. Fast through here. Thuk just dropping off a little bit off the back of this group. We're going for Camel, who's in a major fight with Luca, TJ and Pityfab. Levon and Cobra Scout front fighting for the win. We will get on board with those once we get slightly closer to the end of the map. But right now these guys are fighting out a good fight. Pityfab at the lead. Can't separate TJ and Luca, but TJ seems to have touched the wall. Fell back too slow for it to be a proper crash, but a bit of a touch on the wall. And Cammy falling back slightly from the battle as well. Could come back into it at any time. We lose one from that super tight fight that we saw right at the top. Who's coming back into the fray then? TJ on an absolute flyer up there. Let's get on board with this, because if TJ had that touch and then dropped back slightly, what sort of driving are we going to see if TJ is now confident at that higher pace? Able to catch back up with this group, surely able to overtake. Pushing it slightly, not sure exactly what they might have got. Might have just gone for one corner. It might just be that kind of one corner you full speed instead of drifting for safety, or you manage to push it right to the edge, and sometimes it's just a bit of luck. Sometimes you just hold brake slightly less and you get away with it. TJ's right on the back of this group now. Luca and Pityfab still absolutely neck and neck inside of each other on these lines where you can't make much of a difference. TJ crashes into the wall. Let's get on board with the Pityfab Luca fight. Madness having a decent line through there, getting overtaken. We're about to lap Quinono as well in the beautiful bright pink car. We will, as we come into the final lap, I think on the next lap. Doing a little bit of maths. It looks like Luca has just had a bit of a crash. A little bit of a touch, I think. And slides backwards down. Pityfab, no crashes anymore, and they can take it. Let's have a look at Levon versus Cobra. No crashes so far that I see from either of them. Levon just ever so slightly behind. Still very make-upable. Cobra still has to push and therefore is in risk of making a touch. You're never sure when it could happen. On to the final lap now. Levon pushing away from everybody else, but Cobra also getting ahead. They've got such a big gap. You can't see a difference between them in the checkpoints because the update interval, bang, bang, bang. Then here, ticking away. You've got a few players. This map has drawn people much further apart than other maps. And it's Cobra who takes the win in first place, followed by Pityfab, Luca, Cammy, TJ, Passiox, Thuk, Silver, Owly to come in next, Dede through the line, Jaw, Alexis, Flens coming in, a couple of checkpoints back. Afgamer got a couple checkpoints to go as well. I think finishing is important on this. Being able to finish within the 45 seconds, is it? Oh well, it's not a... However long there is, being able to finish within the time limit. Because it's not a standard setup. Standard setup would be once the first person finishes, you have X amount of time to get to the finish. 30 seconds sometimes. What a run. Ah. Slight problem, the website is currently 502ing. Because I think that's where the points would be for the overall. I'm going to say, obviously, Cobra's got to be out front. Maybe not, though. I can't remember where Cobra came in the first map. I should really be making notes, but I didn't realise. Yeah, Levon's a fantastic player. I think from what I've seen of commentating these events over time, Levon is much more balanced, like really good on every type of track, where Cobra is much better on like absolutely tech specialist. Levon, go onto a full speed map and we're absolutely, you know, Levon's going to be up there. And quick learn as well, Levon was really good at when we did that for another event series where the maps weren't known beforehand. More series to come as well. Oh wait, am I just really stupid and that you can see the lapse time down this side of the board and I would be able to know what's going on? On board with a very cool car from Woo. Look at this. Super cool. Anyway, let's jump ahead to top 8 and TJ. Everybody's still in a battle here. What have I got to say about this map from Super Kobe? Well, this one, very tricky, because a lot of the turns are auto slides. You see this patch of grass? That's to auto slide you. That patch of grass, do you auto slide? Do you wait? Here, you've got to jump with a slight bit of turn to be able to get around this corner. And some of them are a little bit awkward, especially if you're going slightly slower than you maybe intended to go. TJ pulling out a lead here. Pitifab just behind. Cobra and Levon. Oh, Levon's managed to make an absolute flyer in some section there. And Cobra up to the front. Let's get on board with Owly. Seems to be decently placed at the back of this. Yeah, 10 laps and 10 tracks. The fact that we've seen every winner so far go clean, at least that, you know, we've seen there might be the slightest of greys or an over braking or having to brake into a corner rather than drift through it, something like that, but we haven't seen a big crash and like a respawn or anything. So Levon currently out front, TJ and Cobrisk hot on the heels. There's also a lot of new names that I haven't seen before in the other events that I've commentated, so that's pretty cool. Like even people like Howley. I haven't seen Howley play Stadium before. So it's cool to see Howley up there and very high up considering Howley comes through the qualifiers, the semi-final qualifiers. Let's see, Thug versus Cammy. Decent battle going on here. Cammy just pulling slightly away from Thuk by the looks of things. Hop on board with TJ. TJ and Howley, a fight going on. You can see here how quickly now we're overtaking people like Quinono, who is currently sitting in last place. Not far behind Matador though. And only 5 checkpoints, obviously 1 lap behind. But we're overtaking much quicker. It would have been another lap, but there's going to be more crashes on this track. This is a very crash-heavy track. Looks like TJ has overtaken Howley. Howley was having a good comeback, fighting for that position, but has dropped back now. Looks like a really good competition. Pretty Fab Silver. Fantastic competition. Drink time. Is it drinking game every time I yawn? That's not a good drinking game to play. Not a good game. And hopefully I'm not as bad as the commentators on the mountain biking, where there's a drinking game for every time they say the full name of the track, the full name of a team, like the full sponsor name, and the full name of the competition. UCI World Mountain Bike Series Cross Country Olympic sponsor brought to you by blah blah blah. This battle between Silver and Pitifab is great. As Pitifab pulled away, Silver I think has touched a wall or something there. Pitifab pulls away slightly. TJ overtaking Silver as well into 4th place. Across the line, I didn't realise it was the final lap. That one's slightly shorter. I thought we had 1 lap to go. Levon takes the win. Half a second ahead of Cobra. Pitifab in 3rd. Then TJ, Silver, Howley, Cami, Thuk, Luca, Pakiox, Dede, Alexis, Jaw, Flens, Afgamer, Madness, Wu, Matador, Quinono, Lurch Jr. and Gil. Where did Mertz get in? But Gil definitely needs to unbind, give up. Thuk taking huge LP there. Very nicely done. On to map number 5 then. Great. I'm confused. Should be map number 5. I've forgotten who's won each of the maps. Okay, it doesn't appear to be results on this one. We're in though. Let's get going. Let's see on... let's go for Cobra, actually. Seems to be at the back right now, having a slightly slower start than usual. Had this a couple of times, and it's been fine. Slower start, but does well throughout the rest. That could just be because some players will have purposefully trained the start of some of these tracks. This one less so. Cobra into a wall. Oh no, this one, yes, very much so. Going around the outside, this is a very important start. I can see why people might be slightly off the back after that start. It's a difficult one to get right. Everybody's in here. Oh, Cobra's there. Who's just behind Thuk then? Yeah, everybody's just jumping around so much. I'm not sure who's in where. to go on board with Thuk since they're just slightly off the back enough to see. Levon also appears to have had a bit of a bad turn. I wouldn't say that's far enough behind for it to be a crash or anything. But Cobra's got some work to do to get back up. If anyone remembers the order of who won what maps, that would be absolutely amazing, because I'm not 100% certain. I think I've got Levon, Cobra, Cobra, Levon. But I should have been writing them down. I thought that we had that it would get auto-uploaded to the website. But that's fine. Thuk still driving well. We've got TJ up out at the front. TJ and Silver in a fight off at the front. Battling each other pretty tight. Levon making the way through. Cobra seems to be catching up slowly. Big gap between Cobra and Thuk just in front. So more work to do to catch the back of this train. But let's just stay on Cobra and see what happens. One of the fastest drivers on every single track we've seen so far. Definitely capable of catching back up to the front. It's just going to take a superhuman effort to get back to the win. Levon, I think, starting to pull ahead now. Indeed. So after a little bit of a slide out, push to the back of the main pack. Starting to push out a lead again, as we've seen throughout this. Silver and TJ up in a good place. Luca behind where we'd normally see them. Howley in a good place. Pitifab way behind where they'd normally be. Howley seems to have had a smash up, losing a few places there. TJ's dropped back. TJ must have had a crash. Where is Thuk? Cobra's overtaken Thuk. So this is an absolute flyer right now. Levon out front still. Has to keep pushing because otherwise Cobra's going to take, but they might know. Potentially doesn't know exactly where Cobra is because you only know who has come through the checkpoint that you're still on. So once you go through this next checkpoint, you don't know what's happening behind you. You know what's happening ahead of you because you can see those. If you dare, you know, on a map like this with so many turns, constantly left, right, everywhere, drifting. Do you even have time to look down at the bottom corner? If you play with the hood off most of the time, I don't think you're pressing that button to turn the hood back on, quite honestly. You might turn cars on. I did hear, so Grenadi and Massa play the same team in Trackmania 2020. I can't remember which way around it is. One of them turns cars on to understand where they are in the race, and the other one turns on the HUD. So very interesting between them. Some people might have blinds for both so that they can see what's going on. Another overtake there for Cobra. Oh wait, no, that was a back marker. Way ahead of TJ right now. About 2 seconds. And heading up, I'm trying to calculate. About 1.5 seconds right now behind Silver. Levon way out in front though. Looks like Levon will be taking this. We are on the final lap. By my terrible maths and counting. I think I'm slowly downloading people's skins though. If you look up in the top corner, there's that orange bar. We are across the line indeed. Levon takes that one. Silver in second, Cobra in third. That could be important. Levon second place every single time if he's not being first. Cobra in third this time though. I'm not sure where Cobra finished the first map. TJ fourth, Pakiox, then Pitifab, Thuk, Howley, Dede, Luca, Alexis, Cami, falling back a lot since last map. Afgamer, Jaw, Flen's just about to finish. Quinono coming through to the finish just now ahead of Woo. Matador is a lap behind. Yeah, Woo, then Madness, then Matador not making the finish. Madness also not making the finish by the looks of things. Yeah, 69 rather than 70. Levon picks up another win here. Just be cheeky and see who won map 2. No. You did? Okay. Levon took map. We're going to assume that Levon took map 2. I can't remember. We'll figure it out. Which would mean at the minute we've got Levon, Levon, Cobra, Levon, Levon. As we head on to map number 6 now. Super close the entire time. I think we're going to start off on Levon because of the start of this map. Specifically, it's a really tricky start through here. Where on the first lap, there is a chance that you go inside there due to carrying less speed. I don't know if it'll actually happen, but hey, we'll see. No P brakes in the middle of this. Cuckoo? Cuckoo's not racing. Okay, so everybody on the outside. Levon. Cobra's got a good start there, but seems to have touched a wall. Is Cobra dropping back? No, I think just runs wide and probably had to release through a section. Oh, of course it's Guigs. Welcome, thank you for adminning. Let's drop back through the rankings. I think we're good with top. Actually, we might be good here. How good? Look slightly off the back. Let's head on with Levon, because Levon is making a march through the middle. Having touched a wall or something that we didn't quite see. Just saw them drop back. Overtaking Howley. You can see the gaps of that front group. That front group that's not hit anything, not had any bad luck or slide outs or anything like that. And Levon's rejoining the back of this group very, very quickly. The catch to the breakaway has been made. Lucas slightly off the back though, slowing down as well. Must have touched something. Levon flying through here. Cobra's got to make a run because Levon is absolutely flying right now. But everybody's pushing through here, so the speed that Levon's going. If this isn't a push on purpose because Levon knows that they're a little bit off the pace, had an accident, you know, then I'd be very surprised if this is actual Levon pace through this map. But if you're going to do this for 3 or 4 laps throughout, you're going to push pretty hard. You're gonna get some good runs up. Push pretty hard. That was a terrible bit of wording. I apologise. I was thinking about something. I'm trying to work out how to count laps, and I've just decided the notebook I've got in front of my thing. I'm just gonna put my pen on a lap counter. So we should have lap counting if I can figure it out. Cobra still out the front. Levon has made an absolute play to get back into this front group, and now is overtaking Cami. Heading towards this back of this group. Whoever's just behind us, just get on with Pityfab, who's also having a bit of a move. Levon appears to have slowed down the charge. Moving into more of a, I think possibly a little bit scared by the speed that you're going to need. And as you get closer, it always feels slightly more difficult. The full focus going away. But now Pityfab and Levon jumping around, knocking each other left and right. Pityfab into the wall, has to respawn because he's fallen off the back of the edge. Unfortunate, incredibly unfortunate. But Levon is still just off the back of this group. I think by the short time of this, we must be on the final lap right now. Overtaking some of the lap's traffic here. Cobra, and let's get up with Cobra versus Cami, because this is a final fight. They're going through. Are they across the line? They are indeed. Who took it? Cami takes it. Cami takes map number 6 by 0.02. And then only 0.27 behind that is TJ. Levon, fantastic chase after a bit of a crash at the start. And then Silver, Howley, Luca, Passiox, Thuk, Pityfab, Dede, Alexis, Jaw, Flens, Afgamer, Matador, Woo, Quinono, Madness, and Gil left the server recently. So Gil is out. Brilliant. Brilliant racing. It's alright not having the relay server. Absolutely fine. Is there anywhere I can see the rankings of points? Because I didn't have the forethought to write down anything. I've just got potentially not sure who won map 2. But I've got the rest of them, I'm pretty sure. I've got Levon, Levon, Cobra, Levon, Levon, Cami. I think. "30-second warm up, we'll take a drink." Remember to, it's very warm. How do I see the... Do I have to go to the map? And then 10 laps. No, I can only see single lap, 3 lap and 5 lap. At the minute. 10 laps, I see it, I see it. Alright, what map are we on right now? We are on 03S1. Just gonna quickly try and make sure that I've got the... I'm gonna get the top 3 written down of everything. So we must have started on 07, that's what I've got written down, so... 7, 8, 9... 10. That's confusing. We have 02S1 and 01S1. And 05S1. I think I've got everything. And now we're on 03. Okay. Ignore that there's no sounds. I think we're on a good player to watch, though. So 07 S1 was won by Luca? No, that's lap. 10 laps was Levon, Luca, TJ. And then 08 was Levon, Cobra, TJ. Oh, 09. Oh, 09 apparently didn't get played. And this is 02, which was won by Cami, followed by Cobra and TJ. Okay, I'm a little bit confused as to what order we've been playing the maps in at the minute. Let's get back to actually commentating. Silver and Cami having a pretty good battle at the back here. Afgamer has dropped Aller le DDS. Hopefully some DDS players get some good results. They all turned up for the same for the semi-finals. Unfortunately, the only semi-finalists to turn up and not qualify. I've forgotten the name. Hatita, I think. 7 semi-finalists in that semi-final, so someone had to not get through. Rip that guy. Let's get on, boys. See what fights have we got. We've got an Howley TJ fight with Luca just out the front. And Howley's absolutely smashed it into a wall. TJ out the front chasing down Luca. Cobra up there. But look, Levon is 3 seconds ahead. Here's Levon through this checkpoint. Cobra is an entire checkpoint behind. Let's just watch one lap on Levon, because Levon is flying on this track. And through the finish, Levon finishes massively ahead, 4 seconds ahead in the end than Cobra. Then TJ, Luca, Howley, Silver, Pitifab, Thuk, Cami, Alexis, Jaw, Dede, Passiox, Flens comes across the line. And now we wait for the rest. So map number 7, we have Levon, Cobra, TJ. Matador, then Quinano, Madness, Woo, and Afgamer has dropped. What a round. Levon absolutely flying away with that one. Premium no RAM version. Yeah, that was a RAM heavy map. I was just avoiding the RAMs. Unfortunately, I didn't get. I should have. Yeah. Sorry about not being able to talk about that one so much. It is a shame. Wait, 09 has a winner, though. It doesn't have rankings by 10 lap. Oh, 10 laps here. There's just not enough players. Cobra, Levon, Pitifab. And then 10 has Levon, Cobra, Pitifab. Let's quickly get this while we're in warm-up, then. 01 was won by Levon, so that must be this one. 5 lapper, 10 lapper, followed by Silver and Cobra. Silver. This is an absolute mess. Right, finally time to use my genius setup of I've written all the numbers from 1 to 10 down, and I'm going to move my pen across my notebook and try and track laps based on that. Here we go. Welcome to Chaos. Let's get on board with Howley. Howley's had particularly good starts here. This map made by Wally. There's some absolutely incredible players on this game. And it has some amazing players, just for anyone who's outside of Trackmania. There's these sorts of players that that compete in competitions and can pick up these kinds of maps really well and have the consistency to do it again and again and again and again and again. And then there's the guys that can hunt, and then there's the different styles of play, and it's absolutely incredible. Yeah, Cobra, Levon is an absolute madman for being able to play at this sort of level on any format, whereas Cobra is fantastic in this tech style, but full speed, a little bit of a problem. Levon pulling away a little bit here. Oh, Cobra and TJ, let's just have, sorry, Levon and TJ right next to each other. Let's just have a look. I mean, Levon, easy win? It's not easy. We've got Levon, Cobra, Levon, Cammy, Levon. So, realistically easy, but been pushed every single round except for that one where he shot off. TJ hits a wall and drops back. Pitifab, I've just picked up my pen and lost the track of the number of laps. I think we're on lap 3. Levon pulls away. Pitifab in 3rd place. Just overtaking TJ now. Goes up in a second. Who's just behind? It's Cammy. Coming into this little fight just here. Here we go. Levon trying to pull away. Where's Cobra? Cobra way out the back here. Had a few crashes. This map very easy to crash, and it's a speed tech map. So if you crash, you are absolutely losing a ton of time, as we see Cammy clip an inside corner there, and look how much time it's lost. Patiox overtaking because of the speed difference still there. 10-15 seconds later, the speed difference is still there. Let's get on board with Luca in 4th place right now. Levon not pulling away as much as we thought they might after a little bit of fight. TJ has come back into this. Pitifab's holding a good position as well. Levon probably trying to play it a little bit safe. Like I say, it's a lot to lose if you touch a wall here. You won't get your speed back very quickly. This section's super difficult to get through here. The lag not doing it justice, quite how close you have to get to those walls to keep all your speed. Otherwise, you're just going to have to release. Let go of accelerate. I believe we're on lap 6. We'll see how wrong I am at the end. A little bit more pulling away here. Let's get on board with the Pitifab TJ race. Pitifab just behind. It's not an absolute overtake back and forth, but there's definitely a chance for Pitifab to bring this up. Levon holding out in front. Levon's taken a hit. Slowed down quite a lot there, and now TJ and Pitifab have both caught up slightly. Coming through the lap traffic. Most players, I would guess, again, like I said before, will be playing with car models off, so they can't see everyone else. This is bunched up quite heavily. 2 laps remain. Levon's still out in front though. Yeah, they're going to lap players. Each lap is 26 seconds. 26, 27 seconds around here. So they're definitely going to lap players by the end of this. Across the line, I'm off by 1 on my lap timing. TJ takes it. What? TJ takes it in the end by 0.02. Levon must have cut a corner, clipped it or something right in the final that we didn't see. And well, because I didn't realise that it was the final lap. Potentially that final tricky corner through here into the finish. This left-right wiggle, very difficult to do. Followed by Pitifab, Luca, Pakiox, Kame, Silver, Thuk, Howley, Cobra way behind. Dede, Alexis, Jaw, Flens, Matador, Madness, all across the line already. Juanano Wu finishes it out in 18th place. We had TJ, Levon, Pitifab. TJ, Levon, Pitifab. Some noise coming in. I'm going to have to go turn the light on quickly so I can see my pencil workings. Where's the button on that? Oh yeah. Yeah, Levon's regularity is really, really good. Really important to just be consistent on these tracks. Because, and especially on like I said, on that last map, you touch, you lose a lot. This map, much less that you're going to lose. Made by Titu Maniac. A much slower map than the previous map that we saw. But there are some big crash opportunities here. Whereas on some of the others, there's not so many massive wallop-ups. As we see a player just fly off to the left there. Coming through here, you can get offline quite easily over these bumps. Have some air time, be unable to control your car. Let's go then. The 9th map, I believe, if my maths isn't terrible. It should be, because we're on 05 and then we started on 07, so 06 will be the final map of regular, and then we'll have the bonus map. On board with Pitifab, who came in 3rd on the last map, and has been doing well. Always up there, a few 3rd places, never better than 3rd so far. So we'll see if he can pull up. Get a better place than 3rd, possibly even a win. Cobra having a good start this time. Howley having an absolute insane... What's Howley doing up here? Howley's been hanging around the 8th to 10th place spots most of the time. Playing a blinder on this one. Let's pull back to Cammy, who seems to be at the back of this pack of the front. You sometimes feel like you're at the back of the pack and then you just drop one player down. And they're still kind of in the fight. It looks like the 8th player group is away again. Howley this time, Thuk and Luca out of it. Who crashed? Nobody, it's fine. Howley dropping back slightly now after having an incredible first map. Who just dropped out there? Who's dropping down places very quickly? Not sure. But Howley's down. Levon at the front now. Cobra right next to him. It's going to be back and forth here. Levon has had a good lap the last 2 laps to get from slightly further back. Cobra's been at the front for the entire time. So we'll see what Levon's able to pull out. Keep an eye down in the bottom corner for improved lap records. These numbers are slightly wrong because they include... They're not just qualifying, they also include people's practice runs. But that's fine. If they get an improved lap record, they're absolutely flying. Let's jump up on board with Silver, who can just about see this battle going on. But look at the battle between Levon and Kobrisk. Absolutely neck and neck going through here. I've forgotten to move my pen. I don't know what lap we're on. beautiful back and forth racing. We've got to get a little bit of action on this one. Cobra has dropped off the back slightly, must have hit a wall, especially since Silver's coming up to catch up. Everybody else slightly further behind. There's some decent chunks of gaps going on, although there's quite a big everybody on the same checkpoint, because there's quite big checkpoint gaps on this map. This battle between Silver and Cobra for second and third place looks juicy, and Levon not too far out of reach for either of them, so they should be able to push on and possibly get back into this. Cobra having a good run through this long sweeping hand corner. Don't know why I even bothered trying to say a name. Close to the wall there, it looked like, from Cobra, getting as close as he can, keeping the speed. Pushes through. Great turn there. Levon taking it tight round these corners. The interesting thing that's going on here as well, so Cobra took the win in the qualifiers, and Levon, I should be able to look now, Levon was fourth in qualifiers, so potentially Levon was either secret practicing offline, unlikely, or was taking it slower where Cobra was pushing for more on the qualifiers, but potentially not getting quite as good practice of consistency that you need for 10 laps. It was only 5 lap qualifiers. It's a massive difference. It feels like a ton because it's still 3 or 4 minutes of driving, but it is, well, it's 3 minutes of driving, but it's a big difference between that and 10 laps. Levon flying away at the front of this one, increasing the gap to Cobra. Silver a fair bit behind Cobra. Any battles that I can see going on down the rankings? Might have one here between Thuk and Howley. Levon crosses the line in first place, then Cobra, then Silver, Pakiox, Luca, Pitifab, Thuk, Howley, Cami, Dede, TJ, Flens, Jaw, Alexis, Woo, Madness. Oh no, these guys aren't finished yet, so Woo coming in for the next one. TJ bugged 3 times. Rough. That is rough. Woo should be able to take the finish. Madness takes the finish right behind. Wouldn't be surprised if Batador's just crossed the finish line, yeah. And Juanano is, I would think, if he keeps driving and doesn't stop before the line, surely makes it across the line. Yeah, should make it across the line. So we have Levon, Cobra, Silver. Levon's consistency, so Levon's finishing positions: first, second, first, fourth, I think, not in the top 3 in map 6. First, second, first. So only once outside of the top 3 is madness at this level. Nobody else has really got that consistency at all. You've got Cobra outside, second, first, second, third, second, outside, second. That's as good as you've got, but when Cobra was outside, it was very outside of the top. And here we are on the final regular map that people have seen. We have one more map after this, and it's a brand new map nobody's seen before. Well, obviously the people who make the maps have seen it, but the competitors haven't seen it before. And yeah, it will be very entertaining. Big crashes coming soon. I can imagine this map is difficult. Looks like a figure 8 over the top. Very much doesn't play like one. We'll go through it on the first lap. Who's going to take us through the first lap? Who do I trust to get us through the first lap without crashing? I think TJ shall. So we come round here, we see a line from Alexis over the top. Everybody tight into this corner. Very easy to no-slide that and crash there. Then you want to come round here. You've got to keep your speed, not run too wide at the same time. Then here, tight on the inside. Keep it through. Cami goes for the inside line here. Then there's inside versus outside pole. And then you've got to get round a super tight screen, super tight corner. Fast, fast, fast. And then it just tightens and tightens and tightens at high speed. And it's very difficult to keep the drift wide enough to get all the way around it while also bringing it tighter right at the end to flick it through. Levon out in front. TJ just behind. Cami bringing up the rear of this group. Pasiox slow out of that corner. That's what can happen very easily. You go slow out of that corner. You might not crash, but you're going to have to release to not hit the outside of it. Silver looking at the rear of this group just outside of it. Let's get on board with Luca, who is battling Cami. Cami seems to be taking look at this, like fast inside line and overtakes, but then Luca going to have some slightly more exit speed and gets the run all the way through, but it's not quite enough in this instance. Silver's also brought it back into this. Cami runs wide a little bit, but is able to keep it together all the way to the edge of the track. No wasted space on this concrete. Through here we see Luca take the wide path. Means more drifting, so you do slow down more, but you have less chance of crashing. Levon improves the lap record by 0.01, so you can see these guys going absolutely as fast as they can in this final. Levon out in front. Cobra in third place. Battling with Cami right now, who's had a few good laps to get back up to the top of this. Being at the back of that group after a slightly slow corner. See him having an absolute flyer right now. Cobra neck and neck as Ali improves. Cami's hit a wall. And Cobra moves on ahead. How's Silver doing? Doesn't lose too much from it. It's in a slow section anyway, so loses a lot of speed from the crash, but is able to get back up to racing speed very quickly after it. Nicely around that corner. Everybody at the fastest that they can be. This tight little pack right now. Cobra's hit a wall and slows down straight out the back of this pack. Doesn't even join this little threesome of fight. Cami, Silver and Luca. Very tight knit together. Pitifab just off the back, and watch this group fight. Luca going for the wide line around here. We see this every single lap. Luca with a different line. It's interesting. Faster exit speed, but it takes a lot longer to do. But it is a lot safer by the looks of things. Going on that inside line. Seems like the sort of place where you very easily no-slide. I mean, it was easy enough for me to no-slide every single lap, pretty much, no matter what I did. I think we're on lap 6, but I might have miscounted a couple. Let's take a look at TJ and Levon. Didn't realise Levon must have tapped a wall because he was quite far ahead. But TJ now taps a wall and Levon goes ahead. Cami, will they be able to catch up to TJ? Cami's just tapped a wall, I think, as well. And now Silver way ahead. Nobody can make it round this. We were saying how many close maps there were. Silver touches, or doesn't touch, but probably just slows down so much in that corner. Through we go. On to possibly the final lap. Possibly one more after this. Not sure how many checkpoints there are on this. Let's see the Levon fight. TJ way behind. Cobra, unless there's any touches, it's not going to change positions here. But Pitifab versus Silver. They could be fighting it all the way to the line. Levon goes through, and that's the final. Levon takes it over TJ, over Cobra, over Silver, Pitifab, Luca, Cami, Howley in 8th. Pashiox, Dede, Alexis, Jaw, Flens. Thuk is just about coming to the line. Couldn't Neo anymore. Yeah, rough. That is a tough map. Especially at the end of this. This is map number 10. We've been playing for over an hour now. Map number 10, Levon. I can't even write. Levon takes it over TJ and Cobra. That one's for the notebook. Map bonus then. E bonus. My pen's running out. Bug, wait. Pause. We have a slight bug coming up before we get into the special map. We are indeed winning, Des. We are witnessing fantastic levels of Trackmania gameplay. Yeah, it depends who you're cheering for, of course. Hope you're cheering for someone who's doing well. Not live on this one, so don't worry about it. We will take a break. Let's go through the results at the minute. I don't have any points results or anything just yet, but I do have can I click on you? So I can actually see the results currently. Not live though. So we had map number 1, which was, we started on 7, so count up from starting with number 7 if you know the maps. Levon, Luca, TJ was your top 3. On our second map, Levon, Cobra, TJ. Third, we had Cobra, Levon, Pitifab in a very close third map between Cobra and Levon. Then we had Levon, Cobra, Pitifab. Fifth map was Levon, Silver, Cobra. Then a surprise winner right at the end, Levon in 4th place, TJ 3rd, Cobra 2nd, Cami took the win in 1st. Levon took map number 7 over Cobra and TJ. Then map number 8, TJ just sniped out Levon over Pitifab just behind. Map number 9 was Levon, Cobra, Silver, and map number 10 was Levon, TJ, Cobra. And now we go to a special final map. Map number 11. Thuk appears to be driving this map backwards. It's all possible. It is all possible. And actually on this one, you can just fully drive this one backwards, thinking about it. Because you won't be... I wouldn't recommend practicing it, because you won't be able to respawn. But you can do it, and that turn looks awful as well. But a lot of these maps will be possible backwards, and some of them will be even more... like very much set up to be done backwards, depending on where the start point is. Of course, if you're using a normal start, you're going to struggle. But here we go. Yes. Live. Map number bonus. The 11th map of the tracks. I haven't seen this one, so we will see what's up with it. And we're gonna have, everybody's gonna have to learn it in warm up as well. So what are we looking at? Oops, that was the wrong button. Okay. Looks fast NASCAR round it. Let's go back in Cam 7. Can I get there? No. Okay, it looked like fast NASCAR through the back of this track. We come through tech here, and then going to be drift around this corner. Then it looks pretty quick through here. Oh, but there's this tightening section. Otherwise, it would be much faster. Then we are pretty quick through here. Which way are we going, left or right? Let's just stay on with Juanano. A little bit slower pace after a poor turn, but that's fine for a sighting lap. Then we're round here, keep it together, don't hit the inside wall. That's a tricky corner. And then we have this jump just here that Juanano misses out on. Pasiox shows us how not to do. That is going to be a tricky one to learn in such a quick amount of time. 10 laps. I hope you learn fast. That's the first time an Argentinian has cheered on a Brazilian. Who just went for the jump? There's no way you're fast enough to go for that jump. Let's get on board with Cami then. Who's up at the front? Levon, not at the front. Cobra and Luca fighting out first place at the minute. TJ just behind, Pity Fab running well. Levon coming up fast. They all take the jump very cleanly. We're going to see a lot of lap records, which unfortunately I think is going to add to the slight lag moving around the server. Cami slightly losing the pace of our front group here. Luca hits a wall. Slides out. TJ at the back of our group now. Back of our main group. Levon and Cobra right up at the front. Pity Fab's had a slow corner. TJ struggling with that one. I think nearly missed that. Look at Levon and Cobra. We might just go for a start. Normally I'd say, we spectate the back, but these maps so long that it's difficult to spectate the back of the group and be able to see, especially when the first two players having such an amazing battle between each other. Not sure if it's completely sewn up for Levon in the point system yet, but I would say it's pretty close. Been consistently always in the top 3, except for one map where he was 4th. So it's going to be tricky for Cobra to come back into this without Levon having a particularly dreadful run. But the points only go down slowly, so it's not too bad. It's not like some maps, some point systems rather, where points absolutely drop off looking at you anything Nadeo does. Levon is running away with this though. Look at that. Cobra flying behind. Let's try and find a battle between two players. Pacquiao not fighting with Matador. Cami off the back. The spread on the map like this is going to be higher. Flens versus Jaw. This could be a good race. Where they are going to get more... Yeah, you're going to get people spread more on a map that people don't know. Yeah, Levon's strength is his all-roundness. Even though this is technically all tech maps, it's not super-duper all tech maps. Oh, Flens overtakes Jaw, who's had a slowdown. Let's just watch a lap or two of Cobras. Yeah, if you see Levon outside of this, Levon's good on dirt, good on full speed, good on speed tech, good on regular tech, good on RPG probably. Good at fast learn. That's important in the final section of this. Oh, best RPG player. Okay, definitely good at RPG then. Haven't been able to see him play RPG because you very rarely see an actual true RPG map in a tournament. There's RPG styled maps, but of course true RPG is much more about figuring out the route rather than the driving. But yeah, and he's consistent. That that being good at a lot of things brings you consistency and the ability to do things like this, where just the lines he's driving are consistent every lap, and he pulls out over Cobra. Few seconds, but he has hit a wall just as I click off of him. The commentators curse, but slightly in backwards, because I was not focused on him when he hit that wall. And Cobra slightly out in front now. We must be down to the last 2 laps. Matador's had a smash up there. Yeah, I think he must have run wide there and clipped the top of the car on the checkpoint. But Levon's pace has been faster, not by a massive amount, than Cobra. Oh, they've gone through the line. Never mind, I thought they both hit the wall there, but of course you lose control of your car if you go through the line. I thought we had one more lap. Do not. Cobra takes it by 0.01 seconds over Levon. TJ, I mean, a million miles behind after that. 6 seconds behind. Luca, Silva, Pasiox, Pitifab, Jaw, Cami, Dede, Alexis, Flens, Thuk coming to the line just now. And we're on board with Madness. Who's going to come in after? The smallest possible margin between 2 players on the final lap. That's incredible. Absolutely incredible. We'll have to see how the points shake out. Guigs, do we have... How long will the server take to do points? But GG to everybody who played. I'm back finally with the results. We are here. So, in first place is Levon with 1,458 points. Coming in first, fourth, first, second, first, second, first, second. With the bonus qualifying points 42 and 20 bonus finishers points. Bonus finalist points, sorry. Slightly behind that, Cobra with the extra points from qualifying, and not too bad results with third, second, 10th, second, third, sixth, second, first. I'm going to stop reading the results now. TJ comes in third with some pretty consistent results. This 11th place, not a great place, but yeah, keeps him away from Cobra. Slightly less in the qualifiers as well. Then Silva, TJ in third, Silva fourth, Pitifab, Luca, Cami with 1 win here. Very nice run there. And pretty consistently around the midfield in the 10th positions and coming up to the 5th as well. Pasiox, Thuk, Dede, Alexis, Jaw, Howley, Flens, Madmac, Wu, Quanono, Matador, Afgamer, and then the rest didn't play. So, fantastic results from everybody. I was down here with some qualifying result points in 30th, but whatever. Congratulations to Levon for taking the win, Cobra for second, TJ for third, and everybody else who played, including all the people that qualified. Over in the team rankings, Cavern Hunters takes the win, followed by Speed Drift Kings, then DS2 Sport, Jeanette, Fresh Driving, Happy Supernovas, DSG Pukes, and Speed, Cool and Fun. A cracking tournament. Hopefully we will see more soon. I have absolutely enjoyed commentating it. Like, comment, subscribe, join the Discord, all of those sorts of things, and I will see you in the next one.